Medical care for the Civil War army started off as primitive as can be. For both sides, nothing but improvisation. But eventually, the horrendous casualty lists mandated the creation of more sophisticated medical services.
The kinds of wounds that people were having and the kinds of diseases that they were being attacked by, they needed longer-term treatment.
But Philadelphia itself really became a great hospital center. There were over 30 hospitals established by the Union Army.
But two very large ones were developed. Satterlee in West Philadelphia and Mauer in Chestnut Hill.
The United States Sanitary Commission was really an initiative of a number of prominent New Yorkers who were looking to find a way to mobilize civilian support for the troops.
You went to the sanitary fair, you toured all the exhibitions, you purchased things in the name of the country, in the name of supporting the Union, and it was kind of patriotic consumerism. Philadelphia's Sanitary Fair was the most dramatic, organized show of patriotism in the Civil War. It was built in a temporary building that was 200,000 square feet in size, and it was built in 40 days by members of the building trades who'd volunteered their labor.
In many ways, the fair was the city's first avenue of the arts and its first shopping mall.
It had everything you could imagine, from the sales of all kinds of materials to outright fundraising.
The departments included arms and trophies with swords and rifles on display, the Pennsylvania kitchen, demonstrating life in the colonial kitchen, William Penn's parlor filled with relics of the founder, a floral department that included displays like rare orchids donated by Matthias Baldwin, and a Turkish smoking divan.
It was the most impressive and largest mass of goods that Philadelphia had ever seen.
The Civil War changed the public role, really, of women. Women were, in fact, extremely involved in the support systems of the Civil War.
The women's group in Philadelphia was so taken by how important this was for Philadelphia that they went to a group of leaders at the Union League who wrote a resolution recommending that the city go ahead and try to mount one of these great sanitary fairs.
But the fair itself involved people throughout the city in every socioeconomic element, with the exception of the African American community that was left out of the planning.
Exclusion left African Americans who were experienced in running fairs and charity events on the sidelines.
New York was the blockbuster, and so Philadelphia really used that as the bar that they wanted to achieve.
First, there were the sheer numbers: 400,000 visitors, 84 organizing committees, more than 3,000 volunteers, 9,000 meals a day were served, and over $1 million raised.
The fact that Lincoln would take the time to come to Philadelphia was a symbol right away of the importance of the Philadelphia Fair.
He was very impressed by the fair. He said that it was an extraordinary outpouring of evidence of the support of the American people for the sacrifices of the soldiers.
Two things came out of the fair. One was the idea of a public art museum. The other was the idea of a public conservatory, a horticultural hall. Spearheading the idea of an art museum was industrialist Joseph Harrison. The plan was that after the centennial, Memorial Hall would become the public art museum. Pennsylvania Horticultural Society pressed the case for a standalone public conservatory, a horticultural hall.
There was a clear link between the fair and then the centennial.
One doesn't get to this great reaffirmation of American unity apart from what Philadelphians are able to do to make that happen in 1876. The ground for that really is prepared in the Great Sanitary Fair of 1864.